This week on DogSoldier.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve Criner, the Dog Soldier, and welcome to this week's episode. I'm really excited to do this episode, not only to show you guys some of the most awesome Bobcat action we've ever captured, but I'm going to show you some hunts from the past, and we're really going to jump in and dissect my Bobcat stand. I get emails every day, people want me to do more Bobcat podcasts and more Bobcat episodes, so I'm really going to spend a lot of time on this episode and talk about how I hunt Bobcats. Don't go nowhere. Dog Soldier starts now.
Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Oh, yeah.
We're in western Oklahoma. RutNStrut Guide Service. Bobcats. Before we get into these stands, I want you to know what I look for. First of all, it's just like coyotes. I need to have sign, I need to have tracks, and I need to have a Bobcat presence. Brushy creek bottoms, topography, structure, everything is in place for Bobcats. So while you're watching this hunt, really dissect what's going on here, especially with the terrain, and we'll talk about why this cat is acting the way he is as soon as we dive into it. The sun's not gonna be the best, but if we put that call right over here, just that canyon, do like a real high-pitched busy something for like 10 or so minutes, but definitely we need to call this draw for cats. Last stand of the day. Now you guys can pretty well see the terrain I'm looking for. I like it real thick, I like it brushy, I like to make cats comfortable. But one thing I started doing on this episode that I've never done before is use an electronic decoy. Well, on this hunt, this is the first Bobcat I ever called into a decoy, and you can really watch this cat hunt. This cat is going to show you exactly what goes on from point A to point B, which is the time that cat hears the sound to the time you squeeze the trigger. We're going to cat hunt a lot probably the next few days because coyotes are shut down. Let's see if this thing works. And it's pretty cool. It's got a decoy. This is the first time I've got cat hunted with a decoy, so. 12 o'clock is straight in front of us, straight east. But let's talk about sounds real quick. What's important, really high-pitched, busy, distressed sounds, something to keep that Bobcat busy. You know, you got a long time to work here, because typically a Bobcat stand might last 45 minutes. Not so much that it takes 45 minutes to get there, but 45 minutes for you to see them. They're very camouflaged animals. They hide really well. They put structure between them and their target. They're full-time Bobcats, and we're part-time Bobcat hunters. So when we're going to talk about stands and sounds, stretch them out a little bit, high-pitched, busy sounds. Remember, if we see something Billy, we got to be real still. I see him, I see him. We gotta go. Okay, I'm only using my eyeballs. I'm not even moving my head anymore. Now this cat's down low. This is how cats hunt. And this is what I really wanted to talk about. You know, they put structure between them and their target. That's why when I hunt bobcats, I do prefer electronics. But when I place my electronics, I like to place them out in front of me, to the side, or wherever I think that I can get that bobcat to approach from an angle. And then he ain't hiding from me. He's actually coming to the call or hunting the call or seeing the decoy and hunting the decoy and not paying no never mind. So he leaves his side wide open, and that's exactly how we get this done. Let's tell him to go. Here we go. Yes. Did you see that thing hunt that collar? That was epic, dude. Now I do want to iterate how bobcats hear. And bobcats really, really, really pick up movement very easily. They don't smell worth a damn, but these things are tuned in when it comes to hearing and eyesight. I have to shoot this cat early because I make a horrible mistake. And you guys really need to watch that right now. That cat was not taking his eyes off that decoy until I messed up. And then I messed him up and he blended in with that grass right in front of me, and Billy was trying to grab focus, and I knew I had to shoot him. I'm gonna go get him. Come down with me, Billy. You guys ready for this? That's what it's all about right there. No, a little bitty exit hole. Big old Tom, I bet you. No, it's a big old female. Look at that. Beautiful female. Probably go 16, 17, 18 pounds. Big cat. I'm in love with her already. We learned a lot from that stand. We're talking about structure. We're talking about how cats hunt. Like, listen, when you're hunting bobcats, movement and sound is the most important thing. That's why I like the Revolt or the Riot, because I can set them out away from me. Remote e-collars are a must. So when we come back, I'm gonna show you another bobcat stand, and we're gonna really concentrate on how cats hunt. Let's go cut some throats. When you guys are hunting bobcats, it's almost like big deer. If you have a really nice farm with big deer on it and you start pinning them down and you get funnels right, etc., you can about kill a big deer there every year. Well, that's how bobcats are. If you have the structure, the terrain, and everything you need to be successful, year after year, as long as the population sustains, you can hunt bobcats there. Champion call balancer. I've made this stand every year for the last 10 years, and it 50, 60%. I got the lucky duck down there. We actually come up about 10 yards further up this hill than we usually do. It's kind of cool, I can see everything. Now on this stand, we're up high, the call's down low, we got the decoy rolling, and everything is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up. 12 o'clock straight west. I've had cats come up to this red dirt on the right. I'm gonna fire that decoy on. Last night, that cat, I may have not never seen him if I had that decoy. That decoy gets him to move, and I know that. How far out? Okay, I see him, dude, I see him. I'm gonna milk him just like last night, but if he don't come any closer, I'm gonna shoot him right here. There he is, you see him? Okay, stopped. No, don't sit down. I'm gonna change the speeds of this decoy. See if I can entice him and change the volume a little. Now this cat's pretty lackadaisical. He's walking up there, but as soon as he gets eye on the decoy, he's locked on, and I want to show you how these cats move.
When he gets behind the bank.
When he gets out of the side of that decoy, really sudden movement. When he gets up where he can hunt, he starts hunting. This ended up being the demise of this cat, and it was almost like taking candy from a baby.
Okay, there he is. You see him, dude? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and kill him. Yes. Yes. I have learned in the last 2 cats, in the last 24 hours, with that decoy, a lot about bobcats. This looked like a big cat. Are y'all ready? 25 pounder, guaranteed. And I about bet you he's a big old Tom. Oh yeah. Yep, it's Tom. Look at this cat. That's what it's all about. Look at that. I hope you guys enjoy watching this as much as I do. Look at this. I kill big cats here every year in Oklahoma, and I just love it.
Well, hey, speaking of taking candy from a baby, that's what the Riot with integrated decoy will allow you to do. When we come back, I'm gonna show you some bobcat hunts from past episodes, and we're really gonna talk about how we set up on these cats and what you're gonna experience during a bobcat hunt. Don't go nowhere.
DogSoldier is brought to you.
So on this next stand, we're gonna go to one of my spots. It's really brushy. We're gonna place the e-collar down in front of us, everything like we need it. This cat's just gonna pop up. He's gonna give us a shot. After we're done, I'll dissect it and let you know how I achieved it.
If I see a cat, I've got a good 3-point rest right here with these bog sticks, and I mean it is on. You ready, Jeremy? Let's do it. How far? Okay, I see. You got him. I wasn't 3 minutes, and that bobcat come out of that thicket right there, right where I set the collar. I just told Jeremy 15 minutes ago. One time I set a collar out, turned on the button, and the bobcat just stood up right next to my collar in like 30 seconds. Be quiet on the way to your stands. Kill lots of animals.
Now that bobcat popped up right at the call. So when I'm hunting an area and there's tall grass with cattle trails, you can just about bet them bobcats will stay below the grass. They're gonna walk the cattle trails, they're gonna make their moves, and they're just gonna pop up. So that's why it's super, super important what we're gonna talk about next, and that is the setup and where we're setting out on the stand. Like, you have to have sun to your back when you're bobcat hunting. Now keep in mind, this is very easy to pull off if you wanna give up coyotes.
Boy, what a pretty bobcat. Big old female, probably the biggest female I've ever killed here. I mean, look at this. This is a beautiful cat. Belly's good on it, spotted up good. It's not rabbit backed. We're rolling right here in Oklahoma.
Usually bobcats are like icing on the cake. Like if you're coyote hunting, you're gonna get cake, but if you kill a bobcat, it's just a bonus, right? Well, if you're hunting coyotes, you really have to pay attention to the wind because they smell and they end up downwind all the time. Well, bobcats don't use their noses in that sense, so you can set anywhere you want if you're specifically bobcat hunting, which we are doing on this stand, but you got to have the situation right where you can make the right moves to get the kill if a bobcat pops up, to simplify and cut down on that learning curve. If you keep that sun to your back, wear camouflage, get in them shadows, and make sure everything's right before you start the stand, you can pull these off. Now on this next stand, I know there's a dead pile here. I've seen it. It's used very regularly from the beef rancher. And bobcats, although are not scavengers, spend a lot of time with free meals, especially big O toms. Now I want you to really pay attention to this stand, because this is a canyon or deep ditch situation, no matter what you want to call it. And these cats typically, when they're coming out of canyons or they're coming out of deep ditches, will pop up and look for that sound. Well, this is probably at the time one of the biggest bobcats I ever killed in my life. He was a big old tom. We start playing the music and it happens. And I want to tell you guys how I handle it.
We got a hot lead on some bobcats, and we're gonna see what we can do. There's a dead deer down here, so there's a deer hid up on the highway. We should have some luck right here. Let me see. It ain't about too dark. You got on a full auto.
When I'm setting up, usually I point the gun to the worst case scenario that could go down. I want to make sure that if that's where it happens, that's where I can finish it. Well, this bobcat popped up in a place that I could easily achieve a shot, but he's got me locked down. With that being said, this is kind of a 50-50 situation. But you can really up your ratio on moving on a bobcat if you do nice, steady flow. That's the key. If you move sharp on a bobcat, he's gonna beat you. I don't care who you are or what you are, he's gonna beat you. A lot of times when you pick up a rifle and swing slow, a cat may set up, may start walking backwards, or he may start slipping around, and he might try to figure out. And that typically happens 99% of the time. So if you're hunting bobcats and you need to make that move, make it count.
It's 25-pound cat straight up, probably. That is a huge tom bobcat. Perfect, perfect, perfect stand. No fur damage, no nothing. That's what it's all about right there. We're rolling here in Oklahoma. We got a good one started. We're gonna wake up in the morning and see if we can get back after it. Thanks for joining us, guys. Big old bobcats.
Well, guys, I tell you what an awesome episode. I know we're hardcore hand callers and we love hand calling, but we really needed to talk about bobcats because when we're airing Bobcat podcast, people just go crazy. Usually you call up a bobcat, everybody holds them up, they're pretty, and I'm guilty of it, and you talk about how it's icing on the cake. Well, let's talk about targeting these critters, and let's talk about getting them killed. If you want more information, don't forget about the Dog Soldier podcast. We cover this stuff extensively, and we do it every week. With that being said, I'm Steve Criner, the Dog Soldier. Keep your head up, move forward, stay fearless, apologize to no one, and thank a veteran, because without them, none of this is possible. Peace out, homies. I'll catch you on the next Bobcat stand.
No, mine ain't funny. Mine's just warm. His is funny. It's your fault. You're the expert here. I knew you wouldn't argue with that.